Hello, greetings. Now it's the over midnight here, and I have been feeling. I went to sleep, woke up because it was, I guess, my sleeping time, and it was too much for me to take. So my sleeping patterns times are messed up, and I just woke up distraught again, and I have been made to feel a lady, and maybe the Bani Mustaliq tribe, how they were kept or what. So not sure, but it's sure. Okay, this is what happens to me when I say, when the force is on me, making me feel these things that I haven't seen, and where I don't have evidence, they stop me and all this, right? So, okay, sorry if I say some things. I'm very distraught. Distraught is not the word, but feeling what I was made to feel about that's I can't say it's right or wrong. They're stopping me. There's the truth is coming out. Oh God! So I'm in a kind of confusion, agony, and this is So this is the half day, not even one whole day. I went to sleep. Half day feeling. Maybe it was the Bani Mustaliq tribe held hostages by the Apostle of Allah, Apostle of Islam, Messenger of Islam, Apostle of Allah. See, I'm quite confused and all this. And you would ask why I'm doing this. I'm doing this because this is not fresh. It is a half day over, and because I felt it, and it's fresh, and just sharing my experience here, that I did feel one of the, like I was made to feel. I don't know how true it is, but I was made to feel the Bani Mustaliq tribe being hostages, and outside there are guards, and how the Prophet, Apostle of Allah, treats his captive wife, whereas what's written is through the Muslim historians is completely different. We were told, and even what we were told and what's written, of course it tallies, that he was helping the widows, and it's okay to get married to the captive widows, to help them, since he is the true prophet of Allah and Islam, messenger of Allah, prophet of Islam. So that's why I have to share this. I'm in doubt, and I sometimes no. But it was so strong I couldn't say no. I was involved in this. Anyhow, so one day, half day, a few hours, it was enough for me. So you would say that I'm schizophrenic, and these things are happening to me. Sometimes the schizophrenia comes from the environment. The cause of schizophrenia could be that there are lots of people or someone trying to harm you who has betrayed your trust in them. And so, the crisis when you go through a crisis again and again and again, one's mind fuses out, and so, the voices, maybe, and there's black magic also, I was told, rampant. And my case was this, that someone had done something on me. So this also, excuse me, although believing much in the glory of God and no one can harm me if I am a good person, if I enter to remain untouched and undisturbed by what happens to you, but what happens to others also. So when you've known your own helplessness, I speak for myself here. Thank God, coming to my element. I will speak for myself. I don't know about you. So if I say you, and I hope I don't offend you. So I'm distraught, you see. Hope you understand that. And I've edited my video, previous one I deleted, because there was this about, I mentioned something and it's not right. It's politically not right to mention that. So for security purposes and all this, for myself and for others, I had to delete a part of it in between. Let's see how the video comes up now. I'm uploading it and it's going to take time because that's an edited one. It takes time. This is a video from the camera, so it doesn't take time from this to mobile or tab to upload this video. It doesn't take much time. And so I had to, what I'm feeling is for this half day or so, less, I had to reconsider. I'm an ex-Shia, but even more so now. Like I was asking, then how come the Quraysh didn't help the Bani Mustaliq, as they had a covenant to help each other? And how come, since he, apostle of Allah, sent messages about Islam to the Egypt, to the Egyptian king, to the Persian Empire, perhaps to the Roman Empire and others, no one could help. And I heard that Maria the Coptic, through historical, of course I'm talking, came from the Egyptian king. She was given as a gift to him. So my thing is changing. I don't know how to put this. I hope I can be a little fair with my words. So remember, I'm not making acting. I don't want to be emotional either. When a woman has been taken by the opposite army and she doesn't have a choice, I think. But although we may be told in the history books that she had a choice, and they slept with her and kept her as their wife or handmaiden. You may think it's right, but I don't think it's right. She's raped. For me, it's rape. I don't know for other people, for the Shias or the Sunnis, what it is. But I'm speaking out of my own opinion about this. So you can say he's the right, true messenger of Allah. Now, there was Maria the Coptic is here. Rihanna, why is Rihanna is mentioned here? Sorry, Wikipedia. Rihanna is also mentioned here. So I just want to read out to you. Egyptian governor named as Al-Muqawqis. The Bari recounts the story of Maria's arrival from Egypt. So, yes, she was sent from Egypt and given to Muhammad. And then the status as a wife or concubine, when they, Wikipedia, it's given all when they discuss this, and they've put this here about who is a wife and who is a concubine. Rihanna bin Zaid's name comes, and I also did a bit of reading on her, the Apostle of Allah's wife. So Mary, the most pious among you, married the believers. And these were not good women. They were from the army. They didn't have a choice even. So I don't know how we judge. When we go into it in detail, you can see that Juwariya had a very good character, and she, and we are told, Juwariya. So, but still, Salman 80, whether some Shias believe in that sermon or not, or how they take it, women have no, like even if you see any good in women, do not follow them. But that's from the Shia side, and Najul Balagha is not taken as one of the authentic books. So then how to go about my findings, what I felt today was enough, more than. I would have gone crazy. I don't know how I have a little bit, I kind of stressed. My whole body is tight. Bones are hurting slightly, or, like that. And they were, what I felt is about Juwariya, or the wives of the Prophet, held hostages, I was told. Their children, their father, their men who were held, who were taken captives, held hostages, I'm told. So, you may think this is a conspiracy against Islam and the Messenger. But if you read, do more research, and put yourself in their position, Juwariya's position, or Safiya bint Huway's position. You would ask yourself then if you would be there, leaving your, yes, he's killed your husband. In fact, I think Huway's father, Safiya bint Huway's father was also killed. And then this is the true prophet. So you will become Ummul Mumineen. You will say this is about religion, not about money. Anytime we would marry the true prophet, because we live our lives and die for the truth. But, okay, I asked those moderate Shias, completely living your lives for the truth. Can we ever be Imam Hussein? Even Imam Hassan could not be Imam Hussein. As we say, that the sacrifice was unparalleled of Imam Hussein in Karbala. So all these years striving and not succeeding, failing sometimes. So would you even wear the whole hijab? Some of you Shias, it took me some years to start wearing the hijab. I mean, in my 30s I started. So this and it is quite, I mean, for some ladies it is possible. They wear full hijab. Some, even Shia ladies, they wear full hijab. So, but not in the whole house. Sometimes the daughter doesn't, the mother doesn't, the daughter does. So all this is going on, and I wondered, this is causing, it causes a confusion or something in the society, something like a stark difference. It brings about a confusion for the children and people seeing this. And so, bad example, I think. Something serious that could, what confusion does. Like rumors, some people also spread rumors in my life, and I wanted to know who they are, how wicked could they be, because I had separated from Istisa, and they were spreading rumors at a very young age. In my teens also, I discovered that these people were spreading rumors and gossip and all this going on. It was, I wouldn't do this. So I was very shocked in the Center for Advanced Studies about such people. And they were, of course, they were Muslims, right? So I wondered how these Muslims can be like that when the Quran ayat says it's very unhealthy, very shocking. On one hand, like how we feel, for on oppressed. God tells Abraham, "My covenant does not reach the oppressed." So this whole Islam, my father or someone someone told me that I made a mistake taking names in my madness. I don't know how to put it indirectly. So someone told me that religion is all about a soft heart, compassion, mercy, and yet they could not feel much for others. Couldn't understand my love for Mr. Sam. Religion is all about having feelings for the other, soft feelings, understanding hearts, not taunting, not tantalizing, not hurting, not harming in any way. But how many of us are totally harmless creatures, human beings? Now, Surah Baina calls these polytheists and disbelievers and the Christians and Jews who have changed their book and are not going, or they're not going by the book. So if I make these mistakes, I don't know how I still have to put my mind on this to understand that the book was not changed. So I failed to understand that verse, so I left it. The book in their hands was not changed. When I listened to Sam Shamoun, when I was okay with him, and so they were saying the book, Dr. David Wood and Sam Shamoun, book is not changed. This is the verse here It's like this. Anyways, I haven't checked proper. I tried to understand it, but I said, forget it. I failed to understand that verse. So I've left it alone. So whatever, I'll just be on the safe side and say that the Jews and the Christians did not follow their religion. This is the way it is written, I guess. In Surah Baina, you can correct me if you like. You can correct me by reading Surah Baina verses. Right now I can't go there. I'm on the verge of breaking down. I'll scream and shout, and perhaps I will. Now I can see what I'll have my. This is not a scene from a movie. I'm not trying to make a scene here. This audio is not about making scenes. So that before you come and kill me or do something and say, what am I saying? You know that I've been feeling. And my questions, I think, are being answered. Like how come the Quraysh could not overcome the Muslims and Rasulullah, the messenger of Allah, who proclaimed to be the messenger of Allah at that time. And I read a little bit of Ex-Shia. The only thing the Prophet, he makes a feast, he prepares a feast for his relatives. First he invites his relatives, Quraysh relatives. And all he says all is given here is that I am the better from among you all. So all of them left. Abu Lahab, he left. All of the relatives, we are told, left because what is written is what I'm telling you, that he said, I'm the better from you all, among you all. I'm the best. I'm better than you all. Not best, but better than you all. That's what's written. You can do your research. Now, if I start saying that this man was a rapist, one of a kind, please understand, I have gone through a lady whose name I don't want to be reminded. I don't want to go through this again. And it was only for a few hours. How many wives he had and for how many days they remained alive, we are told. But this is very killing. Like I felt, so I'm giving my part. I felt that I wanted to kill myself, but if you have a child, if you've been the chief's daughter, you want to save your tribe. But now if really someone asks me after, like, yes, please save us, but we are, at the same time, it was like, I was in despair. We're finished. We're finished. So that time of despair comes. Someone, in Urdu they say, looting your izzat, raping you, dishonoring you, whom you would, and under such circumstances, being a hostage and your father being there, and all this, you have to save. What choice did they have? So how I came to this, it dawned on me that they were made hostages. You can read about Bani Mustaliq, and I just read between the lines, so I'm so distraught that I'm putting on my other glasses when I have already my strong glasses on, reading glasses. So the way I read, again, I'll be repeating it. Banu Mustaliq. So I showed you why I cannot take it from the Shia, Wiki Shia, because it's not in detail, and it would anyways be filtered by the holy progeny, by the progeny of Prophet Muhammad. So now what I have is this general view from the Sunni sources and detailed account of the Bani Qurayza. Whether the narrator's chain of narration is weak or whatever it is, whether it is only by one person, I have to take it. Because you see, comparing it with the Quran ayats also, Surah Nisa, verse 24, that married women are forbidden to you. Married women are forbidden to you except those women whom your right hands possess. And the way the Shias put it is mutta, they go to mutta and all that. Maybe somewhere else Aka Puya has put about slaves. How actually we were told in Surah Nur, under multilingual Quran, Shia, Surah Nur ayat 33, that now slavery is obsolete. So no more slave girls and all this. And that the slaves that were of that time didn't want to leave, didn't want to be free. You like we see as Shias and Muslims that we surrender to Allah's will. And what is freedom for us? Freedom is that we surrender to Allah's will and that the intellect also surrenders to God's will. And that we become slaves of Allah. This is our freedom, true freedom. And why should we be scared of, all the time, freedom, freedom? It has to be defined. What is true freedom? Is there a free will also, right? That other point? Do we have a free will in this world? Or do we have choices? Not total free will. Total free will could come from inside of yourself. So even inside, you don't become a slave to this world and your desires. That's what God has taught us. So we become free in God, or in God's principles. The intellect will guide you. Intellect will guide you, like Aka Puya has said, to this religion. This is the highest form of intellect. It raises your intellect, this religion. Like Imam Ali has kind of put in words in, what do you call it? I think in Kulaini al-Qafi were also given like various Imams narrations. And like Imam Ali being called Abul Hassan, and I get Abba Abdullah is even Imam Jafar Sadiq, we are told, or mostly Abba Abdullah we call Imam Hassan. So like that, I'm sorry, I'm a little bit confused, like which Imam is it? In Kafi al-Quraini, the narrations given, but it kind of tells us in the book of intellect, through the narrations of our Imams. Maybe I should put it this way and not say Imam Ali. Sorry if some mistake comes out of my mouth, I'm sorry. So, various Imams have told us that the intellect came when God called it and it left. When God said go back, it went back. When God said come forward, it came forward. So once your intellect is satisfied with something, you obey. So we were told this religion is such, excuse me, that the intellect is also such that it obeys Allah. So your logic, when you reason, what would a reasonable man do? Even in common law, we are told. Like this, we are told. I've studied common law in London, this side, I have for the first time felt this side of against the against Islam and the Apostle of Allah. And even if at that time, as a Shia, if I were to read about Juwariya, now we have all the knowledge. Research is there, here on the fingertips. You can just, if you have internet. So I started to object to some matters when I started to read Najul Balagha, and I can't pinpoint where I was stopping and objecting. No, this is not right. And even Al-Qafi Al-Kulaini, I started to object to some of the narrations, but kept my mouth shut. And then those were hadiths. Even the Quran ayats I objected. I was told this as the wisdom of Allah. And who are we to know what is in the wisdom of Allah? So how I have gone into a reverie, actually thinking. So then, who are we to question, even know the wisdom of Allah? Because we're also told in the Quran that the soul's knowledge we have been given but little. So how can only God can speak to your souls. And so I feel this is just now we can't question the wisdom of, then we are told that this is a clear book. It will satisfy you in all your queries and questions. So, but then at times we are told, so I guess I was here in the Bani Qurayza, oops, I've reached Bani Qurayza, no, the Bani Mustaliq. So I'll go back to this, right, the intellect. Surah Azab, very important surah. Multilingual Quran, sorry. Okay, maybe I changed my mind actually. I've done a lot, I don't know how. So the Shias, you see, on the Shia side, if I could tell someone that, someone like very close to me, my mother or my aunt, as my late aunt was doing research on this, that I don't agree to what he has done. And then I was told that some things when I was reading, like for example, Allama Majlisi, the hadiths. So, and yeah, I was told about the Surah Azab, verse 37, about Zainab and Zaid's wedding from the hadiths, that my aunt told me that it was just a suggestion by Prophet Muhammad. It wasn't like a command to be obeyed. But then recently I found out, no, it's a command. Zainab was commanded to obey Allah and the Messenger. Verse 36. So my aunt is no more that I should correct her in person here. So please correct yourselves if Shias you think it was a suggestion only for the marriage proposal to Zaid by Prophet Muhammad to Zainab bin Jahsh. Right? And so the marriage fails, and we are told that he tried his best and all that. And then, so the last video, I said some political things between Shia and, Sunni. I did not mean to bring a conflict, make it worse or something. So, but anyways, I've edited it. Other points about the wives of the Prophet. We are told that the wives are important, but not as important as the Ali, Fatima, Hassan, Hussein, the household. This is the household. So, and another thing was I started to, before even someone questioned me, a Christian or someone really, I was thinking, so what made me just sit on this, that what he, even in this Surah Azab verse 37, that he hid in his heart what Allah was to reveal and said, keep your wife and fear Allah. If you are a counselor, like all these things, right? You are a married counselor, you are the physician, you must tell Zed that, okay, this marriage is not going to work. But we say, no, he has to try. You try your best, leave the result out. And so God, in His wisdom, will come up, it's a great wisdom, and the wisdom here, God says, is that He's made it easy for you to marry your adopted son's wives. But you cannot make them Ummul Mumineen. Only Prophet Muhammad, by marrying them, can make them Ummul Mumineen. And then cultures differ and customs. Only Islamic custom is the best for us. Excuse me. So, like when I was a Shia, I did this project about universal unity, in laws, and so that every culture may understand this is the universally accepted thing. This is the cultural relativity here. For example, if Khomeini, like I mentioned, and I feel very terrible about the satanic verses, then I realized that, oh my God, the printers and some are stabbed to death, and what is this? What it caused, the fatwa against satanic verses and Salman Rushdie by Khomeini. When I saw when I read in Wikipedia, it was accessible to me, then I was like, no. And there I was in my project trying to explain that we should understand each culture. And there was some superficial, I was trying to reason with my religion when it came to the women's rights. So I took that verse, right, from the Quran for my project. In this relativity of cultural relativity and universal rights. I've forgotten the topic. It was a very long one. Even someone said, "What a long! I don't understand what this is." So, the universality of the laws and rights and all this. You can find it. You can find this in George Jordax on Imam Ali, Voice of Human Justice, or something like that is typed. The title of that book is. So here you have to understand that the Islamic world, Shia world, has men as the maintainers of women. they're not forced to marry. They become pregnant and they need to take a break and all this. So I reasoned to myself with this, that men should be the maintain. Why men? Why has God made in the Quran and told us that men are the maintainers of women? And then and then the right of women is that they should then, because they're not working, they don't have that stress of work, maintaining financially a woman. So in the end, when it was wife beating thing, I just cut myself short. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. But I'm a terrible explainer. So I try to reason with that. Slightly beating your wife or slightly beating her, but beating her until beating her so that you know, you know, the man knows. Since he's the maintainer, he must know how much to hit her because he's kept away from her. The conditions are there. First, like, last resort is to beat her. Last resort. When all avenues of peace have been closed, we are told for Imam Hussein to, then he rose up because this was his Nana's religion, should have Allah's religion, that given to his maternal grandfather, which was to be upheld and maintained by this progeny of his, so that justice is done, complete full justice is done, and not an atom's worth of justice is, lapsed or fails or collapses. So that's why Imam Hussein who had taken this caliphate, Islamic caliphate, usurped it. He did not rise out of rebellion, we are told. And he himself in a speech gives that speech that he gives in Karbala, or wherever he gives that speech before reaching Karbala, or repeating it there, that he has not risen out of rebellion. So to be fair and square, if a wife is so rebellious that she doesn't even, you fear that she will not keep a trust, she will not keep your trust and do things, betray your trust behind your back. So I tried to reason with all this and look at it through all sides. Still I was struggling with the last part of this verse, wherever it is, I can't remember, sorry, about men are the maintainers of their wives, and women, wives. And in the end it says, see how confused I am. And in the end it says, like, you can beat them. Some people write in brackets lightly. But what would lightly, like, what would this do? Don't you think that keeping away from them first talking to them and trying to talking to them. If they don't understand, then keep away from them. And then what will the end and slightly beating do? I mean, you have to start to beat them. It's open to interpretation, I guess. Yeah, for every man, his wife. You know how to beat your wife. Because if you have spoken to them and they don't listen, then you leave the beds, you separate from them. And they're in the same house though. and then you beat them. Only men can beat them. So what's the use of lightly they put there? Lightly beat them. What difference would it do? So it's open to interpretation. We can safely say that a man knows how to. Not slightly. I don't think it can be slightly if you discuss this point with me. I try to keep it reserved, because I don't want to go into speculations and all this, because I thought I don't understand something which is not here in the Quran ayats properly explained, and it's not properly explained. It's open to interpretation, but it was not time for the Shias or the Muslims to hear this, I guess. Now it is time for me to also to hear this, my explanation. Slightly beat them with the toothbrush and all this, and then say, if now you don't, I will beat you. Slightly beat them. You see, coming to the wives of the Prophet through the Bani Banu Mustaliq tribe. How actually, you can see in this now, please do your research, how actually could the Prophet, as I wondered, have, if he's not the true Prophet, or even if he was the true Prophet, things would be different. But we don't see that, and I don't have right now that mind to explain. But since if he's not a true prophet, which it should, no, I have to put this right. Why isn't he a true prophet? What does a true prophet do? Where are we told in this Quran? We are just told that if he was not a true prophet, we would have taken him by his right hand and cut off his very aorta, right? A true prophet, and we are told he's merciful too. He's a mercy. He's a mercy. So, mercy, what is a mercy? Meaning, Rahman and Rahim. So, he is good with the believers because he's a mercy. God gives respite to, God is more than mercy. Right? That God is more than, God is beneficent, merciful. So you have to see the difference, because we are told that either Rahim or Rahman, now this also I'm forgetting, that God gives respite to his enemies, and he's given respite to Shaitan, Iblis, because he is all beneficent, merciful, whichever one you choose. Which one, actually you don't choose, but which one tells us that with hypocrites, you are given life. Disbelievers, you are given life. That's a blessing. That's a mercy of Allah. So he doesn't take action against you. He gives you respite to do wicked things, bad things to the people. And then through that, it's very confusing. So I had to leave all this aside, because for years I've been in this web of confusion, and I just took Chitu Krishnamurti's book, and it started to, all that weight of confusion. I've seen hypocrisy in even Shias, some Shias, and all this, right? It just, fell off, all that weight, burden. The only thing was that I had now gone insane and was hearing voices, and things were being thrown at me. So I had to say my prayers, Nadia, Ali and all this. Anyhow, that was the only thing. Otherwise, all that burden of not being able to understand some parts of the Quran, verses, and not being fully able to grasp it, although I prayed sincerely to be a sincere Muslim, a Shia, and to also reach the heights of spirituality, gnosis, irfaniyat, as they call it, in Shiaism. But I failed in all this, right? So, you know how I pleaded to Imam, like I was told, Kulaini, Imam Mehdi used to come and give him the narrations of the Imams. So I pleaded with Imam Mehdi, because I had seen him so many times. I had his dreams also. That please, can you come and explain and give me something about even the stars and all this, that my dreams would be half like about the star falling and not, it shoots, but it's like so, not coming full to its potential and all this. So I wake up and I do research and I pray Nadi Ali and I pray that Surah Taha, from Surah Taha, that verse, oh Allah, increase me in knowledge. And there are du'as for us too, like Dua Yastashir, where I failed. And I needed it quickly because, I needed to help myself and others and proclaim the bounties of thy Lord, we are told in Surah Dhaha. And my mother, people in Karachi, whoever I could help, reach out near me. Yeah, so in my way, because there's a saying that I would pass this way but once, so any good I can do, let me do it now. So God, even in the surah, I think Qasas or something, oh God, please send me a favor so that I may do a good deed. Hazrat Musa's prayer, I think it's in Surah Qasas. So like that I used to pray and failed. It wasn't coming to me. So now I'm here, Bani Mustaliq, not Bani Qurayza. And I wonder how. Here I wondered, like also before, that when Ghalib Kamal was giving about Bani Qurayza, like how could it be that Rasulullah did all these bad things and the Quraysh were there in thousands? We are told Yazid was in Yazid's army in thousands and they were only 72. So how could they do so much zulm, cruelty, terrorism, all this, right? How could they finish a tribe in one day when the Quraysh are there? So, and I have to consider Bani Qurayza's history. So seeing some lapses in Shia historians and the way they explain things coming from the Ahl al-Bayt, and then seeing that from this Umayyad side, history is coming which is against Prophet Muhammad, that he really did this to the hypocrites, we are told. They were attacking him and they were making life miserable for him. Life miserable. Shouldn't I say something? So they were making life, they were bad. They were attacking him. But here in Banu Mustaliq, okay, this also that they were the ones attacking him. So, but how could he do it when the Quraysh are there? And how could the Quraysh in Khandaq or Khaybar, was it in the multilingual Quran, like how could 1,000 of them just leave because Imam Ali murdered their, killed their leader, Jews' leader, and then the Quraysh just left, we are told. 1,000 of their soldiers that had come to Medina to help in Khandaq or Khaybar, battle of one of them, I'm forgetting, sorry. Like, how could they just leave like that? You've just killed, okay. Oh, so maybe like now Juwariya, I felt, it's like, we're finished. We're done with the, we've given into, and is this the way? Okay, the other party is rebellious, but if we will catch them we will seize them, we will wait in ambush for them. Is it worth it? ये तो जबरदस्त, because they attacked and they exiled, and so God is, yes, God's supposed to teach these mischief makers, corrupted Zalimeen, a lesson. And we will take their women. Now, do you think at this time these hypocrites, when even our believers, good women, you should not take them. You should not take their advice. So how can these Juwariya type be say yes, Apostle of Allah? So a detailed version is given in by Wikipedia through the Islamic sources, Umayyad side. The Quraysh, Bani al-Mustaliq, allied to the Quraysh of Makkah, they helped them in Uhud. They had a covenant. In Ex-Shia, I find out, I think, through the notes or the references section, were the subject to an attack by Muslims. And you can correct me wherever I'm wrong. In the month of Shaban, the Muslim force met the Banu Mustaliq in battle at a watering place called Al-Muraisi and defeated them soundly. You see, I'll lose my point. Here, they attacked. What else did they do? Here the Muslims attacked them, were the subject to an attack by Muslims in the month of Shaban. The Muslim force met the Bani Mustaliq in battle at a watering place called Al-Muraisi and defeated them soundly, taking the Mustaliq chief, Al-Harith, and others captives. Among the captives taken by the Muslims were Al-Harith's daughter Juwariya. She initially fell among the booty of Muhammad's companion. She fell. She didn't have a choice. So until this, good, well and good for the Shias even if, let's say, the Muslims attacked, Rasulullah attacked first. They were the ones who had joined the Quraysh in the Battle of Uhud, and whatever these hypocrites were doing. So it was right for, then please say that it is right, since, they were, look, don't go there, they were preparing for an army, spy was sent, then see that spying is not allowed, under no circumstances, right? Common people are not allowed, but Rasulullah is allowed. The army is allowed, the government is allowed to spy. Is that it? In the Islamic, is that how you take this verse, that spying is not allowed? So I haven't been to Qum to study this religion deeply and look at the history also and the Quran ayats. But here I am doing this on my own. So you may raise your objections against me. But what are we here to discover? after seeing discrepancies and all this in the Quran, maybe you'll say no, but no, you can't. You reason, use reason. A reasonable man would not say no. A reasonable man would use his reason, and the Quran ayats fall apart, some of them. What the science, we don't even know what, we're not scientists, but they're scientific. If you've studied from perhaps in your 7th class, 8th class, 9th class, intermediate, metric in Pakistan, where are you taught science? But if it goes against the Islamic thing, then don't even take that, because we are told that these shaitans have changed the face of the world. So Rasulullah Zallah has even covered that. You won't take proof outside. You will only take proof from Prophet Muhammad. You won't take proof from the scientists outside, but you would take proof from Prophet Muhammad and his progeny, Shias. Debate, a reason? No, not debate, please. I'm not in a debate. I'm in search for truth. I'm not in any debate. Discussion, please. Is this right? What does the Quran say? Self-evident truths. Does the Quran say go reflect? Reflect about these verses? This is surely the truth from your Lord. So will we not? These are the signs telling you. We have sent you signs on the horizons and in yourselves that you will be so sure. You will be sure about evidence will be there, right? You will find out. Not being scientists, you will give evidence to the scientists. You will correct the scientists by what? Killing them? Or by saying, oh, no. It says in the Quran, this where verses come that the sun goes around the moon, or the sun goes around the earth. So, excuse me, you would say, no, wait, you are wrong if you're saying. Or maybe take a very easy one, not to get confused now. My mind is kind of hazy and confused. Just take this, a very easy one. It was coming to me, now it's gone. That the earth is not round, it's oval, it's egg-shaped. That's what the Quran ayat has said. So, and the scientists find out that the earth is round, not oval. Then what, you will of course, why would you take the Quran ayat? Do you know that the earth is oval? Do you have evidence? If the Quran ayat tells you, I give you this evidence, tell the scientists, through this calculation, not through their calculation, then I can understand. Oh, please don't laugh. This is very serious matter. We have been taught to love Imam Hussain in such a way that, 2/3 of Quraysh, what they did do, and all of them even smiled and were happy, lawn and Ziyarat Ashura. Mukhtar has said that if I kill 2/3 of Quraysh, these hypocrites who did such atrocities, that it would not be enough. It would not be equal to one finger of Hussein, Hussein ibn Ali, right? So before we go there, I've gone there, but come back here. So please, give me the calculations. This is what I was also praying to God, that, I will tell the scientists, I will go to the idol worshippers. I will go to Hind. And I will tell them, look, reason, apply reason and give evidence. Because the Quran also says, right? Apply reason and evidence I have given you. This is. So please, where's that Imam? If we don't have evidence, then where's that last Imam who knows, who has the evidence? So I prayed. My mind did not open. I was worse. I couldn't read. I couldn't put the lights on when it got dark. Where will you find evidence to give to them? This is the most appropriate way to do it, to find when you Quran. Oh, our Imams have given us. So I read Imam Jafar Sadiq's book, the greatest scientist ever. So time Imam Jafar Sadiq says, and then there I was reading, only Imam Jafar Sadiq has given this, no other. So because we were told, at Imam Jafar Sadiq, Muhammad Baqir, the Umayyads were now, the Abbasides and Umayyads. Shift of power was happening. So Imam Muhammad al-Baqir and Imam Jafar Sadiq got this time, availed this time to now give the knowledge to their Shias, as they knew, so much from Allah, and they were giving it. So like that right now, if, let's suppose if our Imam Mahdi was to, for this Quran, what we are told, take the Quran with my itrat. So if Imam Mahdi can come and tell the scientists that quantum physics, like Dr. Amit Goswami gives, although the scientists may not agree to it, but they're not killing Dr. Amit Goswami even. They may act cold with him and say, what are you talking about? And all those, the normal physicists. So then we are told that Imam Ali has said some people are not ready for the truth. Do not give them the truth when they're not ready for it. Then Prophet Muhammad should have also waited until the idol worshippers were ready for the truth, slowly, and the Jews were ready for the truth. But the way these strong ayats have come, and then we say that the Makkan times, he was soft and very nice with them. And really, he was very soft in Medina. So I'm looking here, I opened Bani Mustaliq. Among the captives taken by the Muslim was Al-Harith's daughter Juwariya. So we are told that don't you think Rasulullah should have from the Shia side I'm looking at this. She initially fell among the booty of Muhammad's, this is the same in other words, a share. She fell into the share of Thabit ibn Qais as a booty. With the hypocrites, with these enemies' daughters, chief's daughter, you're going to do this? Now that I found out, I've changed. I thank God I left Shia Islam, because I'm not going to cry there, no matter what you tell me now. What you told me, I know, right? You told me there were no captives. Captives should not be taken in Islam. Women captives at least should not be taken. That's the message I was getting. from Karbala, Imam Hussein and his women folk and children, women, about the women I'm talking about, right? So let's stick to this first, then we will go to the children. Even women captives were not allowed to be taken and married. You say here, Rasulullah, again, that he is a true prophet, but these women don't want, did, look how was, can a Shia tell me through his noses? अभी मैं उठ के तुर्बत से बोलता हूँ, अभी मैं सच बताता हूँ. From the turbat, a forehead on my turbat, in prostration. You know what this prostration is? Sajda. Right now, after this prostration, I'm going to get up. Yes, please get up and tell me about Bani Mustaliq tribe. And Juwariya. Is this right? Allama Rashid Tarabi has recited a majlis on sajda, prostration. You can listen to it. I've listened to it many a times. It's available on YouTube. Your complete surrender, taslima, it's complete surrender to God's will. What is the prostration? What is the ruku? And then what is the prostration? So you're telling me as a Shia that there was a saying going on the internet, Shia, that now I'm going to get up from this prostration on this turbat. You know what turbat is? It's from the sand where the ashes, or it's like, no, from the sand of Karbala, where Imam Hussein was butchered. Please get up and tell me the truth. That's what they claim. So I'm asking them, yes, please tell me the truth about Juwariya. And what Anita Rai claims, that she had a couple of dreams where Prophet Muhammad has told her, and light came, and Prophet Muhammad has told her about, in detailed form, what happened in Karbala to Fatima Zahra and Abu Bakr, and what happened in Karbala. You see, I can go, instead of talking like this, we just open the site of Anita Rai. So this is what Anita Rai has written, and I can read it out going to Anita Rai's site. In detail, she's been told, no Shia has been told this, Anita Rai. On essential women. So the essential women, this way you can find her website, because then there are Anita Rai, an Indian actress, and all this, and not for sale author. So you can read her important note. Where is it? The author has written the book after being overwhelmed by the lives of the two most remarkable women the world will ever know, Lady Fatima and Lady Zainab. She publishes The Essential Woman, sorry, it's not women, it's woman, independently, without recourse to any kind of financial assistance whatsoever. It is her hadiyah to Lady Fatima and Lady Zainab that for as long as she lives, God willing, she will publish it herself and distribute it for free. I didn't get it, I applied for it. The essential woman does not belong to her. Lady Zainab has the sole ownership, and it is her grace and power that runs this title. Anita Rai is just an instrument of her holiness, and she intends to publish and distribute at least 72,000 copies of this book in her lifetime. After her death, Her progeny will continue to pay this homage. Where are we told now that author's notes? My dear ones, this is Anita Rai's notes. I have been asked to introduce the essential woman with some information about how I came to write this book. The story really has its beginning in a serial of dreams. In a serial of dreams, as I'm writing this note, the days have begun to grow longer and warmer here in London. It means that now we have more light than in the cold, dark, foggy, and indifferent months of an English winter. But where is she? I am a Shia, ex-Shia now. I'm giving my voice out, my personal things out, but she's still hiding. Anyways, and she's in London, but she's scared of what? I couldn't even find her on Facebook. No, it is not a coincidence. There is no such thing as coincidence. That's what Yusuf Zaidi told me. इत्तफाक नहीं है, coincidence नहीं है. You know what that one writes. I'm getting a bad breath of someone. Anita Rai, Saleh Muhammad Rai. He had a sister in England, I don't know, anyways. So I want to know who Anita Rai is, really. I want to meet her and ask her. So this Sunni was very angry at me that I was praising the principal of Alban College. He has a sister there on the outskirts of London. He used to come to Alban College to do his LLM. He was doing his LLM from, London, sometimes going there, sometimes coming to Alban College for some lectures, sometimes going to that other, what's that? Now I've forgotten the London economics. There they have some lectures on law, LLM. Now Rai, his last name was Azam Rai. I don't know. How could, what? In detail, dreams, serial of dreams. And I'm here having today feeling Juwariya, the truth behind Prophet Muhammad, and how he made them hostages. And I felt I wouldn't like this not to come near me. But she had to sacrifice, that's what I was told. You see? So don't blame it on me. First find out who Anita Rai is, who's having serial dreams. And that's how she wrote this. And another one, An Affair of the Heart. I started working on 2 books simultaneously. I just skipped some. Oh yeah, here. Every author is at some point asked, where did you get your ideas for this book? Very, very important that I was going to miss and skip this paragraph. Well, I got mine the very moment I knew I will never recover from the sheer impact of one look at the face of Muhammad. He's come in my dream. Anyways, before I went to London, after I graduated from St. Joseph's College, 1993 somewhere, or 1994, the Prophet of Islam, he looked at me and I could not help but respond to the immense grace with as much grace as I could muster up. He came to me on more than a few occasions and even spoke to me. And in every single of these visitations and many others in which his household members too have visited me, my soul has experienced a deluge of light. These singularly powerful images of embodied peace and commitment are sources of my ideas. Sorry if I'm acting funny here. I started working on 2 books simultaneously. So this is where these Kurukshetra, Calvary, and Karbala. Dates with Destiny. This other, one last word. Look out for my 3rd book called Kurukshetra, Calvary, and Karbala. Dates with Destiny. And my 4th book called Ghadir. She's got all this knowledge from dreams and all this. Visiting, Prophet Muhammad visiting her in her dreams, and the Ahlul Bayt. Not the wives, but, Shia side. How we say, that. So this, and I getting here like a mad person. So first, I don't rely on dream. They told me not to rely on dream. No, even in, about religious dreams. There was someone I met in a bookstore. He was a student, a very decent Pakistani man. Then we started to talk. I said, oh, if you are into science, medical, can you help me? So, very young man, a young brother type. Oh, well, because in Islam you can't have brothers actually. So, I started to talk to him on the internet. Sorry, not phone, internet and messenger, MSN messenger. And he was telling me not to believe in my dreams. Even Janab, aap kaise keh sakte hain? Okay. And he didn't believe that Kafi is a true book. And not even his Bukhari. So he was helping me. Not even the Sunni side and not even the Shia side. And he was saying, well, the dream has come to you that Prophet Muhammad came at the foot of your bed and said, I'm Prophet Muhammad and my daughter Fatima. And she appeared. And they left me with half knowledge, like, we cannot make you believe in it. Oh no, that's wrong. It's not like that. So I thought, in Shia Islam, there's no dawah, and you have to find out your own self. And this is not to make believe something. So please give us evidence. So he was saying, Janab, this is not the way. Your dreams hold no special importance, no importance at all when it comes to first religion. First you use reason and look at the Quran ayats, what they are saying, and compare them, right? So all this is, he was saying all this, the Kafi also, the Shia book, and the Sunni books, hadiths, but that we respect. I asked him, like, you respect, he said that, the Pakistanis, if they honor Prophet Muhammad. I don't know why this thing came out, like how much you honor and what you think of him, because in Surah Abbas it is said that he frowned. So what do you think of that? Because the Sunni ways that the Prophet frowned, and the Shia ways that one of the Prophet's companion frowned at a blind man. So like that, anyways, he was telling me he was a very unbiased person, I felt at that time, and a very wise, sensible, not wise, but sensible, to tell me. He was like, you can't believe in Al-Kafi, it's all junk. You can see it. What he couldn't explain to me in that MSN messenger, maybe, he failed. Now I see it. Taking the Quran ayats and these, what do you call it? So I cannot go on someone who doesn't even show herself and has claimed to meet Prophet Muhammad and the progeny and been given details about what happened to them in Karbala and all this. In dreams, serial dreams. So Bani Mustaliq. So I cannot take Anita Rai's thing anymore. I've left it. The book. But I might someday refer to it like, the ascension. She says here, when I have the strength. Right now, today, it's been enough for me, a few hours being in that hostage mode, frame of mind. And this Prophet Muhammad, Apostle of Allah, no one can raise a voice against him. We are told, it's written in the Quran ayat, but that was more, we concentrate on that Umar raised his voice against him. But now, as far as I'm concerned, it came to me once I really once I'm out of the shock. Because see, I was like, not raped, but I felt violated and molested on my chest, and it was difficult to sleep also because things were happening on my chest. And I was calling out to my principal. That's how I slept. But that mouth and everything here was happening. Yes, Apostle of Allah. So if the Quran ayat says that no one can speak above his voice, no one can raise his voice above the voice of him, this prophet. And if he turns out, for me, he has a false prophet, then how do you say it in a most diplomatic manner? And also a most reasonable manner, so that it doesn't hurt the Shia's feelings. But we are finished. Izzat. You see, she fell into the hands of, 1,000, so I can now see back to Khandaq that they left. This man is unstoppable. अभी आपकी बेटियां इसने ले ली हैं, रेप कर रहा है. What? She's taken your girls, your daughters, rape them. अभी क्या बचा है? बच्चों को जाके फीड करो, फिर आ जाओ वापस मेरे पास. Come back to me and lie down. Right? They're finished. Their morale is gone. They're in this complete despair. Okay, thank you. I will continue with this later.